to me, the key is to fear God and not man. But the peer pressure is out there, whether you're in junior high, high school, college, or an adult. The question is, have you practiced resisting that pressure?
You mentioned being a peculiar people, a people set apart. And I know for me now, that energizes me. I don't mind being set apart. I don't mind seeming like the rebel or the weirdo. And honestly, especially in the last 4 years, I've rubbed against culture really, really hard. But I think that's been a characteristic of most of my adult life and most of my adult life in service to the Lord with my wife. We've been a peculiar people. But I also know that for young people, young men, young women, just the thought of being different is terrifying. So I want to ask you, what advice would you give to young people to maybe put them at ease with the idea of being a set apart people, being fully devoted to the Lord?
Yeah, well, it does take courage and bravery, because to me, the key is to fear God and not man. But the peer pressure is out there, whether you're in junior high, high school, college, or an adult. There's peer pressure out there. And the question is, have you practiced resisting that pressure? And as you were saying, as you've had your life experiences, and especially over the last 4 years, you've become more comfortable being peculiar and the outlier, the person that's stands out differently. And the more we do that, the more comfortable we will become, because then our faith is being tested, and we come to realize in our own, do I really believe the following? Do I really believe that God exists, that he's the creator of the universe? Do I really believe that being a faithful one-woman man is good for me, is good for society? Do I really believe that having children and being a good dad and raising them well is something to desire? And do I want to protect them by home educating them and bringing them home and taking on this large responsibility that seems like I'm not even qualified for? But as you walk by faith and take that leap and begin, and then God shows himself faithful, slowly but surely your faith gets stronger, and you realize, yeah, there's no other way to do this, and I'm very comfortable in my skin as I follow God as opposed to man. So but for the young folks, they're at that place where they're probably just really at the critical intersection. Is this the life I want to begin? In Jeremiah, people found themselves at an ancient crossroads, and God, the author says, choose the way that is right and it'll be good for you. But the very next verse says the people said no. That's sobering to know that you may find yourself at this critical intersection. Just because it seems obvious to some doesn't mean everybody's going to say yes. So say yes when you're at that intersection of choosing faithfulness versus unfaithfulness. And God will continue to show you the way and build you up so that you're more and more comfortable with each 5, 10, 15 years of life, so that you're stronger, braver, and less fearful of man, and more fearful in a good way of God.
This episode of Rapid Response was brought to you by CTC Math. Visit them at ctcmath.com today.